I feel like there's a couple of things that should be said right from the off. Number one, as of this recording, I haven't even started Virtue's Last Reward. I have only completed 999. And number two, I don't feel like this needs to be said, but it always needs to be said because somebody's going to complain regardless. If you are a person who has not played 999 or experienced 999 but would still like to experience 999, spoilers are going to happen here because I'm talking about the endings. Okay? So, if it gets spoiled for you, don't cry on my shoulders, okay? Because I ain't gonna want to hear it. Or do cry on my shoulders. My shoulders are pretty broad. How you doing? Now, 999 is a puzzle game of the point-and-click variety. You are placed in a room with a locked door, and you have to point and click on everything in that room to gain inventory items and then figure out where in the room those inventory items are supposed to be used that will get you keys or whatever to get you out of the room. The story, basically, is 9 people are captured by a gas mask-wearing person named Zero. The 9 are put on a sinking ship with locked doors abound, and they have to solve the aforementioned puzzles in order to escape. The catch is that they have 9 hours with which to do it, hence 9 hours, 9 people, 9 doors. Because there are doors that have big numbers on them, and their goal is to find the door that has the big number 9 on it. And this is a 9 to me, but it's backwards to you, so it probably looks like a G. That is a wondrous understanding of how the technology that I use on a daily basis works. Okay. In my initial playthrough of 999, I did not use a strategy guide or a walkthrough because I'm a badass genius and don't need that shit for a puzzle game. Come on. But I had heard through ramblings about how great this game is that it had multiple endings. And my thought was that I was just going to play through it and accept whatever ending came my way because I figured, you know, kind of foolishly, that any game worth its salt, especially one being lauded as having a mind-blowing story, that any ending you would get would be satisfactory enough. Little did I know. And in my playthrough, I did all sorts of fun stuff. I blew up a freezer, I played with some medical mannequins, I burned coal, you know, like you fucking do. And eventually I made it to the number 9 door. And once I got to that door, I started to get really excited because everything was like really ramping up and I was like super excited to find out the conclusions to everything. How is the game gonna wrap all of this up? Everything that it brought up from then till this point, how is it going to conclude everything with all of the characters that I've met? What's all of their stories? Why are all of us here? Why were these specific characters chosen? Who was Zero? Was he amongst us? Was there somebody else who was killing off characters in the background? What was the deal? And then one of the characters goes missing. Clover goes missing, and it's like, ooh, now it's getting even more exciting because we're at like 8.5 hours. This ship is literally about to sink. And one of the characters has gone missing, we gotta go find her. So the group splits up, and once they do, Junpei gets stabbed in the back, and, yeah, he dies. Huh. Well, that's interesting. That's quite a turn of events, the main character getting stabbed and getting killed. Okay, who did it? Why did they do it? Was it Clover who went missing? Was it one of the other characters? Was it Zero? Who did it? What's the deal? Tell me. Are you gonna tell me? What's the deal, game? I don't know. Because Junpei just dies, and the game ends, and on the bottom screen it says bad end. And then it has the temerity to say something along the lines of, use your knowledge of this playthrough to play through the game again and get the true ending. You can play through my butthole if you think I'm going to subject myself to that again. Bad end was absolutely right, and not bad end in that a bad thing happened to Junpei. Well, I guess getting stabbed and dying is pretty bad, but I meant bad ending in that it was just bad from a writing standpoint. Needless to say, I was disappointed by all of this. It severely hampered my willingness to play through the game a second time because, you see, 999, while a good puzzle game with a pretty decent murder mystery plot, it doesn't exactly lend itself well to replayability because I found out in my research that in order to get the ending that's called the safe ending, which you have to get in order to unlock the ability to do the true ending, I would end up replaying puzzles that I'd already done. So that was the argument that I had with myself. Do I want to play through some puzzles that I've already done twice more? Or do I just want to read what the ending is? I read what the ending was. Reading will win that battle every time. Having read the true ending, I gotta tell you, it's fucking batshit, to say the very least. Because what had been, for the most part, an 8.5 hour long, pretty good murder mystery plot that was rooted in like a semblance of seriousness. You know, the characters were kind of goofy and some of the things that they talked about, but the mystery plot itself was fairly grounded in reality, and then out of nowhere, it just starts introducing things like telekinesis, time travel, astral projection, and other tomfoolery, and I gotta tell you, I fucking love all of that. I think that stuff is so great. It even gave context to the failure states, which I thought was really neat. Basically, the explanation is that once Junpei reaches a failure state by not picking the correct doors and he ends up dying, what happens is when you restart the game is actually Akane in the past resetting the timeline so that Junpei can go and actually pick the correct sequence, which is a neat little storytelling trick. And it puts me in a very weird situation because I like it so much that it ends up disappointing me even more. Because you see, I had to play through, my playthrough of this game was almost 9 hours. It took me 8.5 hours to play through. And I was very, very disappointed when I got the ending that I got because I felt like I had wasted my time. And then when I read I would have to replay those puzzles another time, so play another 9 hours of game to get another incomplete ending, because the safe ending, while it is the ending that you need in order to get the true ending, it still does not answer everything. So it's another 9 hours that you have to play without getting all of the answers, and then you have to play it another 9 hours for all of that kind of cool stuff that I just talked about, for all of that to be revealed. So you have to go through 26 hours of the same thing over and over before you get to the really interesting nuggets. And you know what? The game's not called 26 hours, 9 people, 9 doors. That doesn't fit with the motif. So I was just really irritated by that. But at the end of the day, 999 is still a perfectly serviceable game. I really liked the puzzles, which were creative. I liked solving them. It wasn't one of those what the fuck am I thinking kind of games like the old Sierra games where you would have to grab like a tube and some string and jelly and put them all together, and then now you've got a fishing line. It wasn't like that kind of nonsense. They were creative and interesting, and I liked the characters, and I liked the mystery plot, and once all those cool reveals were revealed, like, I thought that was pretty cool too. What it really comes down to is that I made the wrong decisions and I got a bad end. The difference is that there's nobody who can reset my timeline with the knowledge that I have of this timeline to get the good end. Well, I mean, technically I do. I guess I could just replay 999 and do that again to just get the good ending. But, I don't want to.